Divorce mediation isn't for every couple, but if you can work with your spouse, you can save time, money, and stress. In this episode, we'll discuss how mediation works. Ending a marriage is a very difficult time in anyone's life. When I went through it, I felt like a failure, like I let everyone down. On top of all the emotional trauma, you have to deal with the legal system and the cost. Divorce mediation is one way of keeping down that cost and the stress. By working with your spouse, you can come up with your own outcome. What is divorce mediation? Divorce mediation is a confidential, informal process where you discuss the issues with your spouse. The mediator is there to facilitate that discussion. It's not binding, so that means if you can't agree on everything, you're not obligated. Even if you can't agree to everything, it can still be helpful to resolve some of the issues. Therefore, you have less to litigate. What does a mediator do? A mediator is a neutral third party. They're not like a judge. They don't make any final decisions. They help you come to an agreement between you and your spouse by asking questions, defining the issues, and trying to resolve the problems. They try to find compromises that everyone can live with. What are the benefits of mediation? There are many benefits of divorce mediation, including the cost. Each party pays a portion of the mediator's fee, therefore it's a little less expensive for each person. The time involved, because mediated cases take less time. Control. You have more input into the agreement, therefore more input into the final outcome. And finally, relationships. It can help preserve your relationship with your spouse. This is especially important if you have kids, because you'll always be connected through your children. Before we discuss how to prepare for mediation, I just want to let you know that if you're considering divorce in Massachusetts, please feel free to go to affordlaw.org/checklist. We've put together a checklist of the 7 most important things you should be considering while you're going through the divorce process. And if you're looking for representation, we'd be happy to help you out there too. Our fees are all based on your income, so the less you earn, the less you pay. How to prepare for mediation. First of all, you want to organize your financial information. These documents are necessary in all divorce proceedings. So you want to get your information as far as your income, your expenses, from your bank accounts and tax returns and so forth. Secondly, have an open mind and be ready to compromise. Mediation is a give and take. Keep the best interest of your children as a priority. This is the guiding principle in family court when children are involved. And finally, take care of yourself. This is a very stressful situation. Take time for yourself and as much as possible, try to relax. What is the mediation process? Every mediator is different, but you can expect that you and your spouse will meet one-on-one with the mediator. You'll also meet together with the mediator to identify issues. The mediator will continue to meet separately and together with you and your spouse to iron out the issues, and ultimately a mediation agreement will be written and signed by both parties if you agree. What happens after mediation? Once the mediation agreement is signed, all the other divorce agreements need to be completed as well. All those documents need to be filed with the court and approved by a judge. The judge is looking for several things, such as, is the agreement fair to both parties? Do both parties agree to the terms? Did one party gain some unfair advantage? And if there are children involved, is the agreement in their best interest? Questions to ask a divorce mediator. If you're considering hiring a mediator, you should ask several things, including, what are your qualifications? How many mediations have you conducted? You want to make sure that they're experienced. How much will it cost? And finally, how would you describe your mediation style? You want to see if they're going to be a good fit with you and your spouse. How long does mediation take? Every mediation is different. The length of time it takes depends on several things, such as how many assets and debts are there, if there are children involved, if there is a house involved, and how cooperative the parties are. What if we can't come to an agreement? Mediation doesn't always work. It's a voluntary process, so no one can be forced into an agreement. Even if you can't fully agree, perhaps there's an agreement on some of the issues, so those issues will be taken care of and you can focus on the contentious ones. If it doesn't work, you'll have to proceed down the traditional litigation route, where you file a complaint, have it served, go to court, and ultimately let a judge decide the issues. For more information on Massachusetts divorce, please see our next video.